The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Flower power, everyone! Welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll give you some spooky, fun events for you to enjoy in our special Halloween edition of Open Weekend Preview. After that, get creative and make some healthy Halloween treats with author and nutrition expert Nancy Addison. Then we'll discuss all things Frankenstein as Latin horror founder Edwin Pagan is here to celebrate. Well, he's here to discuss the celebration of the 200th anniversary of the novel and character Frankenstein. Later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight features Bronx Capoeira director Moses McCarter, who will share background on the art of capoeira and his upcoming performance at the Bambula Drum and Dance Festival. Ooh, so sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially Halloween open. Flower Power, hello, welcome to Open Halloween 2018. Love. All right, I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour, always inviting you to get social with us, online that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Instastories, LinkedIn, and Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. It's Halloween weekend. Not that I need much to get dressed up for. However, we have lots of events for you to enjoy with your family. So get your pen and paper out. It's now time for our Halloween edition of Open Weekend Preview. Friends and family can enjoy a nice, fun-filled weekend with Boo at the zoo, at the Bronx Zoo, filled with activities from pumpkin carving, candy trails, magic shows, and a costume parade for kids of all ages to enjoy. And for more information on what's going on this weekend, you can visit bronxzoo.com. Next, we have a Bronx haunted house for you and your friends to get your scream on. Ah! All right, so Full Element Martial Arts is hosting a haunted house tour Friday, October 26th and Saturday, the 27th at 707 Brady Avenue in the Bronx. And the tour begins at 5:30 and ends at 12:30 a.m. And for more information, please visit Eventbrite, Bronx Haunted House. And please note, this event is only for adults and it's not advisable if you have a heart condition or are prone to fainting, which means this is a serious haunted house. Okay, so the 33rd annual New South Bronx Halloween Peace Parade is taking place this Saturday, October 27th at 12 p.m. Friends and family will be able to dress up in their costumes and enjoy the festivities. And the parade begins at, it starts at Simpson Street between East 163rd Street and Westchester Avenue. And then everybody will march their way to Fox Street in front of St. Athanasius Church. And children will receive free candy and balloons, and prizes will be awarded to the best dressed participants. And for more information, visit Eventbrite, 33rd Annual New South Bronx Halloween Parade. The 40th Precinct Community Council and Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. are holding Halloween Safe Streets and Treats. The Bronx Pumpkin Fest 10 Halloween Haunted House Spooktacular. And for kids, it will be an evening of face painting, free candy and popcorn, pumpkin designing, and much more. The event will start at 3 p.m. and will take place at the 40th Precinct, located on Alexander Street between 138th and 139th Street. And for more information, please call Community Affairs at 718-402-3662. And there you have it. So with Halloween around the corner, our BronxNet cameras also had the opportunity to capture the history and mystery Twilight walking tour at the Woodlawn Cemetery. Ooh. Oh, reporter Yesenia Ramos has the details. Let's check that out.
The Woodlawn Conservancy preserves monuments, landscapes, and mausoleums. They also offer tours and educational programs to the public. Our BronxNet cameras went inside the Woodlawn Cemetery at night to tour one of the most popular events, History and Mystery Twilight Walk-in Tour, alongside historian Susan Olson, who's been guiding tours for 17 years.
It's a tour where we take people around and tell them about unsolved murders, people who lost unfortunate ends, and we share some of the beautiful art and architecture of Woodlawn.
Olsen guided us through the cemetery with flashlights and gave us a chilling history lesson on the life and death of some of Woodlawn Cemetery's residents. We got a chance to enter the bronze doors of the Hardback Mausoleum that replicates the north doors of the Baptistery in Florence, Italy.
The Hardback Mausoleum, which is just a grand work that has Tiffany windows and Guastavino vaulting. It's really a spectacular thing for people to see, but it's great fun to see it at night.
July of 1905, the Demerly brothers and their cousin were struck by lightning on Coney Island and brought to Woodlawn to be buried.
The family executed a very dramatic monument that shows the lightning strike, the portraits of the boys, but all the symbolism that's traditional in gravestones, from ivy to immortality, roses for love. We have ferns for eternal peace. So all the things that you see that families select for gravestones, we were able to look at tonight with that dramatic statue.
Westchester resident Joe Alfredo took the tour for the first time and brought his family and friends along to share what was sure to be an eerie night.
The moon was almost full, so it made it a little more eerie. So it was pretty cool going around and seeing all the different mausoleums, you know. I had a powerful flashlight, so I kept looking in the woods, see if I could find any spirits or anything, but nothing tonight.
Woodlawn Cemetery has tons of events, from World War I centennial walk-in tours as well as illuminated mausoleum moonlight tours. To register for these events, visit woodlawntours.org. Reporting for BronxNet, Yesenia Ramos.
Thank you for that, Yesenia. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll make some healthy Halloween treats you can give your kids as an alternative to candy. Don't go anywhere.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Kumbaya, my Lord, welcome back. Woo! Halloween, that's right. We are spreading love on this Halloween edition. And of course, it's quickly approaching, and most families are looking for a healthy and fun way to enjoy the holidays without indulging in too much candy. And our next guest, who is just spreading some love with me, is, she's going to share some healthy tips, treats, and parenting tricks. You know what I'm talking about. For kids to enjoy a healthy Halloween, please welcome award-winning author, health expert, nutrition expert, Nancy Addison. Hello and welcome.
Hi,
We
Rhina.
love having you
Thank
here.
you. I love coming to visit.
I love your concepts. This is amazing. And for you guys who are just tuning in and are familiarizing yourself with Nancy, Nancy lives in Texas, and whenever she's here in New York, she always stops by, and she's always here to share some really healthy alternatives. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we got, because she made this really wonderful creation.
Oh, well, I just love the way that you look at different holidays and the way that we both share the Halloween season. And so many of us want our children to get a really great experience from this and keep their immune system boosted up. So a few things that we could do that are super healthy is we can make little citrus pumpkins, and they're very easy. In fact, all you do is take some celery and you can do oranges, you could do grapefruits. I have some tangerines here, but you just make some strips and you can get the kids involved. And so you have some little tops, and Rhina, you can make some right there.
This is really cute. This is really cute and really simple.
Very simple and inexpensive, and you can have
And
this
festive.
at parties all through the fall season.
I like that.
And we really need to have fruit in its full form because it has the fiber in it and all the nutrients in it. And when we have it as a juice, it's just like putting sugar straight into our bloodstream. So we want to always eat fruit in its whole real form. And then another thing we can do is we can do Cyclops eggs. And so that would be a really fun breakfast. And what I've done is, instead of using mayonnaise, we're using the egg yolk, but we're mixing it with avocado, which is a really healthy fat with a lot of fiber and nutrients in it.
And it's still avocado season, so we're in luck.
So, with the way the world is today, where we have shipping from all over the world, it's really easy. And so all you do is you take some olives and you slice them into thin little slices.
Okay.
And you can make a Cyclops
First, I have
egg.
to see your demo. Oh my gosh! and he kind of loans himself to being one of the minions. The one-eye minion. Well,
So-
because you speak that language to them, then they're more prone to eat
That's
it.
right.
It's like, oh, it's a minion. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that one's name. The one with just one eye. No, because we have to trick them. Now, just so you guys know, we're not suggesting that you put this together to give to the trick-or-treaters. We're suggesting this for any Halloween parties that you're putting together so that the kids are eating the healthy stuff as an alternative.
Right, or you could do this for a breakfast. And this Halloween is a great time, so you just
right.
put his little hat
I know,
on.
I'm like looking at it like it's
there's
so
his-
difficult.
there's
It's an
his
egg,
little
Rhina.
hat.
And then this will stick?
And then you just kind of give him a little cap, and you stick that on there,
Okay.
on the green.
Okay. Like, stick this on the green. Got it. Mine is not as neat as hers.
And then I just cut a little bit from the egg carton, and you can just make a little egg stand. So you could do this really even for breakfast. And then another thing you can do is you can make little bugs. And so I've just cut some black licorice into little legs. And so you just get some seeded, pitted, dried dates, which are incredibly full of vitamins and minerals and really good for us. But they're sweet, so they're a treat. So
it works with the prune too, though, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And you just make little holes on the side, and you can put
And we're
the
gonna put
licorice
little
in
legs,
there,
right?
and you give them little legs.
This is really
And so
innovative.
it's super healthy.
And
it's
this is
really good for
licorice.
you. Yes, and actually licorice is one of the healthier treats, candies. So that
I don't know if
It's
mine
not-
looks like legs. Mine looks more like antennas.
Well, and you can also get the children to help with this. And I find that when children help you make your food, they're much more likely to eat it. And so, you can do kind of things like these just for fun to get your kids involved in the making of food, and then they also learn how to eat healthier as you do it. And I find that kids don't always listen to us, but they copy what we do and they use us as an example.
Not looking.
I think you look startling.
You think it looks darling? Thank you. My daughter would beg to differ, but I do love the idea of it being a family affair. When it comes to art and just artistry with the food, it's more inviting for them to really want to take a bite of it versus having it there. I mean, they love eating pretty looking things too, but when they're making it they're more privy to actually bite it. Like I want to bite it right now.
That looks great. Kind of look like a dragonfly.
Yeah, mine looks like a dragonfly, but that's okay. It's a bug,
it's
right?
It's marvelous.
Okay.
Okay. So we have great healthy snacks and treats, but we can also pass out at the door if you have kids coming trick-or-treating. You can do things like finger puppets or bubbles or small slinkies. Things like that, or
so I just want to show everybody,
glasses.
right? These are the suggestions. We're making suggestions. Okay, the camera right here. Right here. We've got little magnifying glasses, the bubbles, the little kitty cat.
So little finger puppets.
Alternatives, and finger puppets. Oh, those are cute. They love that stuff. Look, little.
And you can get these at party stores in packs. You can even get glasses, fun glasses.
I'm sure this you can find at the 99-cent store. We all know we love the 99-cent store. And the idea is that, instead of giving them candy, which I'm sure they're going to get from every other door, is, you contribute to their health by offering them the treats instead. It is trick or treat, after all.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we thank you so much.
Oh,
is there
you're
anything
so-
else we need to go through? Oh, the slinky. We forgot the slinky. I know you mentioned it, but I just... Look.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is that diabetes has risen 700% over the last 50 years, and it's rising greatly with children. For children of lighter skin color, it's risen 24%, and for children of darker skin color, it's risen 200%. And by 2020, they say it's going to double. So encouraging foods like this that support your health is really a great way to go.
And we thank you for always coming here and sharing and making it fun. I mean, this is a fun way to spend quality time with your children, right? And it's healthy. That's the beauty of it. So I understand you also have an expo coming up.
Yes, I'm speaking at the New Life Expo on Saturday, and it is all weekend in Manhattan. So come and hear me speak, and it would be a great fun to do that. I always love coming to New York because my daughter lives here, and I think it's just such a fantastic place to come and share and meet people.
And we love that you always come and visit us. And you enlighten us and educate us on just these wonderful healthy alternatives. And you guys, she also has books. Okay, so we've got the Diabetes and Your Diet, and we also have How to Be a Healthy Vegetarian, and they're both available online. And for more tips, healthy tips that is, and Nancy Addison's books, you can visit www.organichealthylife.com. All right, kumbaya, my people. Well, you forgot your glasses. Where's your glasses?
I've got my glasses.
We got to close out with love. Let me get the other heart. Like this. Oh. Yep, there you go. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about the iconic Frankenstein. Dun, dun, dun.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Keeps me warm. We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Hello and welcome back to Open. We are spreading love on this Halloween edition. Yeah, we must spread the love, spread the love. Flower power. Don't forget, we're always inviting you to get social with us. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too while you're there at Rhina Valentin. Pero now we're going to get a little spooky, you know, because it doesn't matter if you're young or old, everyone knows Frankenstein. Right. Okay. So this year marks the 200th anniversary of the novel, and our next guest will be discussing the significance of the character and the thrill of horror. Joining us to tell us more, we welcome Latin horror founder Edwin Pagan. Hello and welcome. Welcome back. Yep. We love when you come visit us on our Halloween edition. You're always sharing this gruesome, gory stuff that I know you love. Because I look forward to There Will Be Sangre.
Yeah, well, thanks for, this has become kind of an annual tradition for us, so thanks for having me back. It's always great to be here with you and the BronxNet crew. Fantastic.
Well, thank you, Edwin, and thank you for the topics that you picked. So, Frankenstein, it's a very fascinating topic. I know you're going to be doing a whole panel discussion on it, but we're going to share with our viewers a little bit of the history of Frankenstein, because I'm sure a lot of people don't even know that Frankenstein was written by a woman.
That's correct. Shelley Merry was born in Victorian England, 1797, and she started writing the book when she was only 18 years old. And so it took her about 2 years to write it. And, you know, we're talking during a time in England when women weren't at the forefront of the literature movement, and so she was quite ahead of her time in that, and it got published when she was 20 years old. But it's interesting because the book got published in January 1st, 1818, and we're in the 200th anniversary now, but it originally got published without her name on it.
I was going to ask, why was it published anonymously?
Because I think during the time, women writing that sort of genre piece wasn't something that was sort of acceptable. But I think her husband was also an author, and they went back and forth, and it got published. But it got published in France 2 years later under her real name, and then originally started spreading when it started getting critical acclaim. So at the beginning, it wasn't published with her name, you know. So it's, but she was ahead of her time by not only writing a novel, but also the subject matter. You know, something as macabre as it was, wasn't something that was common as novels. It was serialized,
right,
in the Penny Dreadfuls and those kind of things, but it wasn't necessarily, which came later, but it wasn't in England something that was common. So she was.
Well, yeah, she was quite the visionary. Yeah. I mean, I understand she was visited in her dreams by the story.
That's right. That's right. And you know, the funny thing, and it has a connection to modern times. And when we talk about the Genesis, which is Prometheus, right, the Titan that sort of made man out of clay and stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity, and that's how we sort of have flourished over the years. You know, now I was reading a story just the other day about stem cell research and how they're using that now to sort of go further, and people were against it, right? But there's people that are starting to be cured by that there's a direct correlation from sort of reanimating life to now modern times in science, where we're sort of going full circle and bringing it back to the fact that we can, through science, do the things that were kind of discussed in those books. And so what happened in her book and then went into cinematic folklore and movies and popular culture is actually going to be reality in the not too distant future.
Well, you know, what is that? The Walking Dead, right?
The Walking Dead.
Right. So, but let's talk about Frankenstein and just how it evolved, because originally it was a book that she wrote,
right,
and the book that she wrote was, I guess, also inspired by Prometheus, right?
Right. In fact, it was in certain publications it was called the modern Prometheus.
And so, from there, now Frankenstein became its own entity.
Right.
As in its own brand.
Right.
Versus it being a story.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, what ended up happening was, as anything else, it started being copied in the penny dreadfuls in various ways, not necessarily always under the banner of Frankenstein, but like you said, like the whole thing of like the reanimated person with zombies and things of that nature. But when it came into when film came into existence, then people started doing the story on celluloid. And the interesting thing, and one of the things that's good about our topic today is that, and I think this happens almost, there's always a Bronx connection. And so the Thomas Edison company, which it had one in Orange County, but it also had one here in the Bronx, which opened, I think, in 1907 or 1901, was not too far. It was on Oliver Place, which is not too very far from here. And the first Frankenstein adaptation on film was actually shot in the Bronx at the Thomas Edison Company. And so what we've had after that...
That's fascinating. I don't know if too many people know that.
Yeah, and here in the Bronx. And at one time before Hollywood, most of the film companies were in the Bronx. The studios, and in New York before they went.
Well, it looks like that's going to happen again, right? Because we got
little by little.
Yeah.
And so, there have been many, many films that have been done about Frankenstein over the years. Golem is one of them in like 1928. They keep replicating the movie. We know them. Some of the more quirkier ones, like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is one of my favorites. But the original, that's the comical version. Mel Brooks version. It just goes on and on. But the classic, the one that we all remember with Boris Karloff in 1931, is the one that sort of brought it into popular culture and everybody's, because it was a mainstream Hollywood film. And it's what we associate as the monster no matter what. The sort of take on it has always been sort of this creature being put together with the top, it looks like you can pop it off and the bolts in the neck. And that's sort of what seeped in even in Hollywood. In Halloween, that's what you kind of get the gist of. On and on. Right,
of course. And so now you guys at the Bronx Music Heritage Center are going to be conducting this panel.
Yep.
But you're also going to redesign or recreate something related to Frankenstein. Like, you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, we're doing it at the Bronx Music Heritage Center, and the two co-directors there is Elena Martinez and Bobby Sanabria, who is like an amazing jazz musician, drummer, band leader. Who's currently out.
He's up for a Grammy with
correct.
The West Side Story reimagined.
That's right,
and congratulate him.
And very well deserved, because he's just amazing. He's one of our heroes from our community.
Yes.
And he's a Bronx boy, born and bred. And what he's going to do, and they've been doing this for a couple of years at the Bronx Music, they pick a film and they reenact the music live with one of his bands. And so what Bobby is this year is going to do again, they selected Frankenstein, and they're going to be playing the underscore to the film live for the audience that participates. So it's kind of nice, it's...
So is the movie going to be in silence, or is it...
The movie is going to be in silence. And I think we're taking away the track, and there'll be some dialogue. For the most part, it sort of goes back to those black and white films of the silent period. So it'll be
so
dramatic.
The composition is going to be a la Bobby Sanabria style.
And I'm sure he'll even throw a little jazz crescendo in there every now and then. But it becomes a really fun night, because you get to really like interact with it, and the little surprises that he throws in that you don't expect, are always, like Bobby does. He just adds flourishes that are just uniquely him.
Yeah, and Edwin, this is your time of the year, though, right? Because you also have an event happening at Pope Park.
That's right. That's this very
Talisman,
evening.
your film.
Yeah. We're doing a series of Halloween films, 3 of them, this very evening at 6 p.m. at the Poe Visitor Center. And one of the films that's showcasing is mine, The Talisman, which is about a guy who gets contracted by this evil force to deliver a talisman. And, I won't give away the ending, but all 3 films in the series are about karma and getting your just deserved at the end. And so the other film that's playing is...
I'm laughing because I know you as a community activist.
Yeah,
that's like an underline.
That's right.
Toma.
Toma. And then another friend of mine whose film is showing is Kyle Polino, who people may know, who did the animation for MTV with the claymation Celebrity Deathmatch. and you can find those on MTV. So he has filmed the Halloween Prankster, which is a stop-motion animated film. And then finally, Christian Moran, who did Let's Play Dead Girl, which is based on the Slender Man. And we know that about 6-7 years ago, when that whole mythology hit the internet and really flourished, there was a group of friends who actually murdered one of their friends in homage to this mythical creature, which was really nothing more than something that had gone viral. So his film is based on that.
Awesome. I love it.
So it's a mix of family and it's a little more serious.
It's a little more serious, though. It's not necessarily recommended as a family event. They have to be old enough to deal with that. And I just want to thank you, Edwin, for always coming through, sharing your knowledge. I mean, you're quite the historian. I don't even know how you memorize all these dates, but we appreciate you.
It's always great to be here.
Oh, we love Latin horror, and see it, pa'lante, oíste.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll let everybody else know where they can find you, as well as all these events we just finished discussing. Once again, the New York City Parks Halloween Films, that's taking place tonight, Friday, October 26th, from 6 to 8 p.m., and that's at Poe Park Visitor Center at 2640 Grand Concourse. And for information, you can visit nycgovparks.org. Also, the Bronx Rising, the Bicentennial of Frankenstein panel will take place Saturday, October 27th, and that's tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. And of course, we already told you there's going to be music by Bobby Sanabria, and that's going to be happening at the Bronx Music Heritage Center located at 1309 Louis 9 Boulevard. And for more information on that, you can visit thisbronxmusic.org, and of course, for all things horror, be sure to visit latinhorror.com, because there will be sangre. All right, stay tuned. Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Save me, Tom Cruise. I just want to go fast. You know, Rhina, like talk fast. Remember, folks, if you ain't first, you're last. Looks like the LA Dodgers don't care very much for my World Series prediction, at least not yet. I said Dodgers in 7. It's looking more like Red Sox in 4. Boston won Game 1, 8-4 Tuesday night, powered by 4 hits from Andrew Benintendi and a homer from former Derek Jeter heir apparent Eduardo Nunez. Our Bronx Net cameras were at Fenway Park to open the series.
We're dictating their moves, but we feel that we got a few guys that they can hit lefties and righties. Steve Pierce, for example, they brought a righty for him, and we've been using Steve throughout the postseason against lefties and righties. So we stay with him. We feel like Rafi can hit lefties and righties, so I know they're gonna go to that. They trust their bullpen and their matchups, but we trust our guys too. And you just have to be patient. You have to be patient.
You know, we talked early today. He explained me what's the situation. He told me left-hander, he didn't go in his schedule, and I'm gonna be prepared. 7, 8 innings late in the game. If they bring lefty for Dever, so that was the plan, and we did it.
Had anyone let you know that you are a thoroughbred soccer player with 4 hits in a World Series game?
No.
What do you think of that?
I don't really care, honestly. I'm just glad we won. You know, it starts with guys around you. Mookie getting on base, putting more pressure on the pitcher, and you got guys like Steve Pearson and JD behind me. It makes my job a little more easy.
Game 2 showcased more of Boston's dominance. The Sox won an MLB best 108 games during the regular season and have carved up 2 100-win teams in the playoffs in the Yankees and the Astros. They won Game 2 4-2 Wednesday night. This time it was MVP candidate J.D. Martinez who delivered a clutch hit. And if Yankee fans aren't sick enough right now, the Red Sox are even doing good deeds off the diamond. Red Sox outfielder and fellow MVP candidate Mookie Betts has long provided heroics on the field, and now the All-Star is doing the same off it as well. He was identified for performing a simple act of kindness for Boston's hungry and homeless hours after Betts and the Red Sox took a 2-0 World Series lead on Wednesday. And with temperatures dipping into the 30s overnight, the generous star reportedly provided hot meals from trays of food to the city's homeless outside the Boston Public Library. The World Series heads west tonight. The Dodgers will try to get back into the series on their home turf and send rookie starter Walker Buehler to the mound against Boston righty Rick Porcello. Timely hitting was key for the Red Sox in the first 2 games, scoring 9 of their 12 total runs with 2 outs. We'll see a dramatically different Dodger lineup Friday with the right-handed Porcello on the hill for Boston. Expect Cody Bellinger and Max Muncy to start after being relegated to the bench against lefties in the first 2 games. I was joking on Monday when I said the Knicks were still looking for their first win of the season. I meant their real first win of the season. New York defeated Atlanta in the opener, of course, as we showcased last Friday on the show. The Knicks are 0-4 ever since, including 0-3 on the road. Hassan Whiteside scored 22 points and grabbed 14 rebounds. Josh Richardson added 21 points, and the Miami Heat rolled past New York 110-87 on Wednesday night. A marketing company set up a billboard near Madison Square Garden showing Kevin Durant, who is expected to become a free agent with Kristaps Porzingis, in an attempt to lure Durant to the orange and blue. Kevin Durant loves MSG, but said he's not impressed by billboards. I still think he will strongly consider the Knicks in free agency. The Nets top Cleveland 102-86 Wednesday night. Brooklyn is at New Orleans tonight. Meanwhile, the Knicks welcome Golden State to the Garden, where they can watch Durant firsthand. Maybe he'll be kind to the Knicks because of the billboard. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. After starting the season 0-2, the LA Lakers have been fueled by LeBron James posting back-to-back wins, including a victory over the Denver Nuggets Thursday night, Denver's first loss of the season. Final there, 121-114. NBA rumor mill reports that Houston offered 4 first-rounders for Minnesota All-Star Jimmy Butler. I can definitely see that trade happening. On the NFL gridiron, Houston quarterback Deshaun Watson tossed 5 TDs in a 42-23 whipping of the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. The 1-6 Giants are in full fire sale mode. Defensive tackle Damon Harrison is now a Detroit Lion. Veterans Janoris Jenkins, Olivier Vernon, B.J. Goodson, and even Landon Collins could be potential trade options as the Giants look to rebuild now. The G-men got a 5th-round draft pick from the Lions for Harrison. Giants coach Pat Shurmur said Tuesday he expects Eli Manning to remain the team's quarterback through the next week's trade deadline and the bye week coming up. Cornerback Eli Apple, who was drafted with the 10th pick in 2016 and has 1 interception in 3 NFL seasons, was traded from the Giants to New Orleans on Tuesday. Giants welcome 4-2 Washington to the Meadowlands on Sunday. That game kicks at 1 p.m. The 3-4 Jets will be in Chicago at 1 p.m. Sunday. On the ice, Chicago defeated the Rangers 4-1 Thursday night. Nashville skated past the Devils 4-3 in New Jersey, while the Islanders are gearing up for the Flyers Saturday night in Philadelphia. Sad news from IndyCar. Promising up-and-comer Robert Wickens, who was injured in a terrible crash at Pocono, is paralyzed from the waist down. Wickens took to social media to say that he's working on walking again. And on a final sports roundup note, since the Yankees and Mets are sitting this World Series out, at least we have the past to reflect on. On this date, October 26, 2000, the Yankees beat the Mets 4-2 in Game 5 of the 2000 World Series, the Subway Series, to win the championship for the 26th time. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for an interesting note on the World Series. It's easy to roll your eyes at the Fall Classic and dismiss it as a battle of big market behemoths. This Red Sox and Dodger teams are still playing right now because they rank first and third in payroll. But it's not just money that lifts these teams above all the others. Two examples will be on display when Game 3 gets rolling tonight. Walker Buehler and Andrew Benintendi, who we mentioned before, aren't nine-figure free agents like J.D. Martinez and David Price. They were Southeastern Conference rivals in college, blossoming in plain sight as the 2015 draft approached. And in Buehler's case, he was available to 23 other teams before the Dodgers selected him in the draft. Buehler will take the mound for Game 3 tonight. The Dodgers' best hope to dig out of a 2-0 World Series deficit. Benintendi with 4 hits in Game 1 and a key walk and ballet-like snag in left field in Game 2 is possibly halfway to a series' most valuable player trophy. Some cool facts for other teams hoping to win a World Series someday. Take note, Yanks and Mets. If you ain't first, you're last. That's your sports. Happy early Halloween. I'm Ricky Bobby C. Stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Our next guest is a Bronx native who began his Afro-Brazilian martial arts of capoeira in the city of Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. From there, he made it his mission to share this art form with people throughout the Bronx and teaching in such places as the Bronx Arts Ensemble, the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance, and the Bronx Music Heritage Center. He's performed abroad and in local parades and committed to serving the greater Bronx community through capoeira. Please welcome the director of Bronx Capoeira and Capoeira Concepts, Moses Micarta.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome.
Hello, hello. How you doing?
Welcome back, I should say.
Yeah. Fast forward to the future.
Fast forward to the future. Well,
yeah.
The thing about it is that you've been very busy, and I'm really happy to have you back on after what, like maybe 7 years?
7 years.
7 years.
2011. Yeah.
Wow.
Right here in this area.
Right here in this area with the different floor, though, right?
Yeah.
But it's lovely to see you using your artistry as a means of just basically spreading this new influence, right? Because this is from Brazil. Are you Brazilian?
I am not. I'm a Bronx native, born in Old Lincoln Hospital. So, Bronx, born and bred.
So why capoeira? Like, what's the intriguement that you chose to make this your life's mission?
For me, capoeira, you learn all the benefits of self-defense with, without the aggression, so to speak. There's lots of game involved, lots of health, lots of fitness, lots of acrobatics, and we live in a very MMA mentality now, and you get a lot of that aggression, but none of the things to smooth you out, and I think capoeira is very fun. It can be a very peaceful martial art. So that's why I love capoeira. You know, and it's also connected to the ancestors. It's an Aboriginal African martial art. You know, so it was created by Aboriginal people in Brazil, by Africans and Aboriginals, indigenous people of Brazil. So it's also that connection to the ancestries, you know, to people from where I'm from. You know, it's very much a new martial art. It's about 500 years old. It's not an Eastern martial art, an Asian martial art. It's an African or Aboriginal martial art.
So when you're exercising in capoeira, right, which I've experienced with you.
Yeah, I remember.
I couldn't even remember that.
It was fun.
Thank you for reminding me.
I remember.
But I've actually exercised capoeira with on a few occasions, and I mean, but here on set, only with you.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to make sure
I'm
that we're
the only
clear about
one.
that. He's the
I'm
only
the
one that did on set.
It was I.
It was you. It was you. I'm trying to help people understand what you just shared, and that is, it kind of loans itself a little bit to like Tai Chi, where you've got the balance, not in a Tai Chi form. It's obviously its own form.
Yeah, makes sense.
But the idea is not to just focus on attack, as opposed to just kind of flowing with energy.
Yeah. Capoeira is definitely an energetic martial art. You know, like with certain martial arts, you know, there's this idea of the lone practitioner on the mountain or by the waterfall. But capoeira is very much a communal martial art. It's very much, it lends itself to our people. You know, we do it in a circle. There's singing, there's clapping, there's energy. You know, and we do that a lot in all of our, you know, art forms. You know, that's how we were in Africa, that's how we are in the Caribbean, that's how we are in a lot of spaces, you know. So it's very much a martial art that's, you know, like us, where we're from. You know, it's how I like to think
And
about
the instruments that it used for it. I mean, I know you brought a drum today. We're going to be using a drum, but what is the name of that instrument? That it kind of, it's a very interesting string.
The berimbau.
What is it?
The berimbau.
The berimbau?
Yeah, the berimbau. Yeah.
What is the origins of that
The
instrument?
berimbau, those origins are African, but there's the arc, or the arc instruments are usually from Australia. They have one in India and Africa. That's where the bowed instruments are from, you know.
And
but
why
ours,
is that so important to
It's
capoeira?
like the mind. It's like the brain of the hara. It leads the hara is the circle in capoeira. That's where capoeira takes place. Outside of the hara, I'm practicing self-defense. But when I'm playing capoeira, I do it in a hara. I'm playing. I'm not fighting, you know. Outside of the hara, if I need to, I use capoeira to defend myself. But, you know, when I play capoeira, it happens in a hara, in a circle. And the berimbau tells you the type of game you're playing, whether you're going to play low, whether you're going to play high, whether you're going to play a game with lots of acrobatics, or a game that's really like rolled and like, you know, close to the ground. You know, the atabaque, or the drum, the tambor, is like the heartbeat of the hara, where the berimbau would be like the mind. You know, it leads the hara, so to speak. So,
it's beautiful.
yeah,
That's
I love
beautiful.
it.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I never knew that the sound of the string is what determines whether you're dancing low or high. I mean, I call it a dance because, you know, it loads itself to being a dance.
It very much is.
But
it very much is.
How is it that you're developing self-defense? Because, I mean, it is its own kata, right?
Yes, but the katas are open, they're not set.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the way you could think about it is that if we're playing capoeira, and, you know, every time we're playing capoeira, I aim to kick at your head and you're aiming to get out the way, so you're working your reflexes. I know how to control the explosiveness and the speed of my kick, so where I don't hit you, so now I'm training control. So if I'm always training to go for your head, if I'm always training to aim for certain spaces, when I'm out on the street, if I ever need to do it, to get someone where I want to put my foot or my hand is easy because I practice it in play. There's a famous mestre em capoeira called Mestre Pastinha, and he said que você faz zangado, eu faz jogando. He said, what you do angry, I do while I'm playing around. So what a lot of people do when they're upset, what a lot of people do when they're upset, like, you know, being aggressive, I do that joking around. You know, so when it comes time to use it, I'll try to maintain that same mentality, that equilibrium, and just try to be relaxed and take the situation in and know how to react, you know, so.
And it's instantaneous because you're doing it so regularly that the body automatically reacts.
Yeah, I'm 40 now, and I play capoeira almost every day, a lot, you know, with kids, you know, who have, you know, boundless energy.
That's beautiful. And so before we go, where are you teaching now?
Right now I teach at the Bronx Music Heritage Center, and I also teach at the International Community High School. I've been there for 13 years now. I teach at the Bronx Arts Charter School. I teach at PSA. I teach various schools throughout the Bronx, but my space right now, my home in the Bronx right now is the Bronx Music Heritage Center.
Nice, beautiful.
And,
So what are your classes?
Classes are Wednesdays, 7 to 9, Saturdays, 2 to 4, yeah.
Awesome, and they could just go to the Bronx Music Heritage Center.
Yep, you can find us, or you can find me also. The information is also on bronxcapoeira.com, www, of course.
Woo! Awesome, and we're gonna get a taste of it too, right?
You're gonna do it too, yeah?
Uh-oh,
Yeah, I'm calling you out.
All right, well,
I'm calling you out.
I'm into love. And,
oh, it's all love.
And
it's
I
all love.
I know.
It's
you
all
already
gonna
said
be
it.
love.
You said the magic word. We actually play in the realm
we
of
learn
defense.
through play. We learn to play.
So that we can defend ourselves in a playful manner.
Yeah.
Love it. Ooh, you guys.
That's why it's called Capoeira Concepts.
Capoeira Concepts. All right, you guys, we got to take a quick break. But when we return, we're going to get a taste of Capoeira Concepts with Cultural Bronx. Capoeira.
Yes.
All right, don't go anywhere.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hello and welcome back to Open. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. Here now to perform Capoeira Concepts, please welcome Bronx Capoeira, Moses McCarter.
Somebody right here, pretty please. Pretty please. Come on the other side, love. Ahoresa, ahoresa, ahoresa.
Bronx Capoeira! Woo! No, wait, let me wrap it up first. I'm going to be doing capoeira in a second, pero I just want you guys to know that the Bronx Capoeira, they're going to be participating in Bambula Dance and Drum Festival, and that's happening on Sunday, November 4th, 3 p.m. at Pregones Theater, located at 575 Walton Avenue in the Bronx. And for tickets, please make sure to visit Eventbrite Bambula Bronx Dance and Drum Festival. That is our show today. Tócame. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to your viewers for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Flower power, mi gente. Happy Halloween. All right, vamos. Nos fuimos.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.